Hey, and welcome back to another edition of my Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. So let's get started. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. I've been doing some testing with this deck, and it's fabulous. Fabulous, but it's actually a really good deck. Let's get right into it. I call it Rescue Knights, or Noble Rabbit. So obviously you play the one copy of Rescue Rabbit. So one copy of Rescue Rabbit, and what better to go with Rescue Rabbit than Noble Knight Artagoras. Now, they'd have to be two normal monsters that get summoned and banished at the end of the phase, but essentially you're using this as your OTK potential. You basically use Rescue Rabbit, you get the two Noble Knight Artagoras who have amazing stat line, like if you can see with past all the shininess, he's got an 18-18, and he is incredibly good. So yeah, that wraps up the Rabbit engine of the deck. Now onto the Noble Knight core portion. We are playing 3 Boars because Boars is amazing. He fills your graveyard, and then when you get the extra deck monsters, they just synergize so well because you can get them equipped with like everything. So I play 3 of him. And through testing, he does get a kind of cloggy, because you do have Rhoda to search out, but it's still really nice to have all 3. It's a consistent, he's a really good first turn draw, and any equipped spell is really good. Next we play 2 Madrot. I know most people play 3 of him and 2 Boars, but I have the ratio switched because I only have 2 Madrot, but 2 is enough because you have Rhoda to search out, and his effect is pretty good. You basically can just special summon a Noble Knight and get a free rank 5 play, which is nice. Noble Knight Pewter, we're playing 2 of him because he basically allows you to destroy a card. And if, no wait, not destroy a card, excuse me, he allows you to add a card, a destroyed Noble Arms card, which is really nice. Now onto the kind of odd job cards. We have Merlin, Noble Knight Bedouin. Merlin for synchro plays and other shenanigans because you can actually use his effect to synchro on your opponent's turn, which is really nice. Noble Knight Bedouin to add any of those special cards that are in your graveyard, like Noble Arms of Destiny, and actually to get certain cards from your deck to your hand. So he's a great one. I'd play 2 of him. If I had more of him, I'd actually play 3 and cut down on Boars. So I play 2, but I only have 1, so only playing 1. Next is the Night Day Gearfer. He would be good at 2, but he's not really that amazing because you have Bedouin. Next, the 2 level 5s of the deck. Ignoble Knight of Black Lysolin and Ector. Ector's really good. Lysolin, not so much. I've never used his effect, but he's okay. Next, we main deck 1 Veiler, because in a format like this, that most people are expecting Maxi, Veiler's a better hand trap in my opinion. Personal preference, honestly. Dawn Knight, I would play him at 2, but I've kind of found that through testing, 1 is fine because you only need to stack your deck so much because you get so much search power, and Boars loads your graveyard, so it doesn't matter what monster you have on the field as long as it's a Noble Knight. Next, for synchro plays, Lady of the Lake. For more shenanigans with Noble Arms, we play Guinevere, so you got your stuff. Next, you have your 2 Honest. These are the last 2 like odd job cards. Honest is amazing. Play him at 2 in this deck because almost everything in the deck is a light monster, and if you draw light monster and Honest, you're essentially guaranteed to win 1 battle. So that's really nice. Noble Knight Gawain, Galvantula, and Drystand. Drystand is probably the best one out of all of these. So Gawain is okay because if you get a dead draw at Artagoras, you can still do your XC summon, so it's not too bad. If you draw your Artagoras and him and then Rescue Rabbit, at that point Rescue Rabbit's just kind of fodder for other plays. Galvantula, Vad or whatever his name is, he's okay. Dry stand is probably the best out of all three of these. Now on to the bread and butter of Noble Knights. You have your Noble Arms of Destiny, which we have 3 copies of, which is amazing. This card is probably the best card in the deck. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects once per turn. That is absolutely amazing. Next, we play 2 Gallatin, because Gallatin is a great card, but you can make you suffer depending on how it happens. Because it does decrease slowly, but again, that's why we play Honest. We play 2 Caliburn, because Caliburn is okay, giving in a 500 attack point boost, and then gaining life points off of it is consistent. I don't think the life points matter too much. You're just trying to OTK, but it's okay. Next, you have 2 Excalibur. I might have played it at 3, but if you have Destiny and this card on the field, it becomes an amazing play where your opponent can't target your monster, and then they can't destroy it by battle once per turn. So essentially, they can't destroy it with a card effect once per turn, and they can't target it with any card effects. So the only thing that could stop it is like a Raigeki, but if you use the effect of Noble Arms of Destiny, you're fine. And then if your opponent tries to target, they can't because you have Excalibur. So Excalibur, MVP of that in combination. Next, we're playing all these random spells. So we're playing Book of Moon, Rhoda, and Swords at Dawn. I kind of want to take this out. Swords at Dawn is not that great, but it can actually be pretty clutch sometimes. It can save you in the moment or allow you to OTK faster. Foolish Burial because you want to send Dawn Knight. It's not a dead draw because you can actually send other Noble Knights to the grave and kind of bring them back and stuff. So it's okay. It's not terrible. And use Merlin's effect. Dark Hole because I don't have Raigeki, but you know, not gonna play it at 2 because 2 is a bit excessive. Release a Restraint Wave. It's like a Heavy Storm. You basically Heavy Storm your opponent and destroy 1 equipped card. But it's okay because when you destroy an equipped card, it comes back onto a different Noble Knight monster. And it's fine because you don't really need to pop that much back row in this deck because the XZ monsters handle that for you. And this deck actually has a really good matchup against Monarchs because if Monarchs can't stop you before you get Artigoras out on the field, you've won. Forbidden Lance, because sometimes there are situations where you need to keep something alive and you don't want something getting targeted. At 1 MST to pop random stuff just in case you've used the effect already and your opponent's like, I'm gonna not activate, but I'm gonna set something, and you don't want to waste an XZ material to destroy it. You can pop with 1 of that. Last spell, and probably the best spell in the deck, is the last chapter of the Noble Knights. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can target one Noble Arms equipped spell, graveyard special, and 1 Noble Knight appropriate Noble Knight monster in your graveyard. Special summon that monster. If you do, equip the spell card to that appropriate monster. So you can stall out with this. It's a nice card. Very nice. And lastly, the 2 traps we play, 1 Solemn and 1 Dimensional Prison. I was thinking of putting a Torrential Tribute instead, and it's probably going to end up being a Torrential Tribute or Time Space, but as it stands, or Bottomless actually, probably Time Space, because Time Space is better for this main deck anyway. Monarchs is the only one that you need to worry about, and even then you kind of get your effects off of it. So yeah, Dimensional Prison, just to banish stuff, and then Solemn Warning, self-explanatory, say no to stuff. And that concludes the Noble Rabbit deck profile, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any criticisms or have anything that you've tested better, then go ahead, leave it in the comments below. I just personally, Noble Knight's one of my favorite archetypes of all time. Heck, it's based off of Arthur of Camelot. Oh, I almost forgot to go over the extra deck. Yeah, so extra deck, we play the 2 Synchros super fast just so you guys can see, but that was the main deck. So 2 Synchros, they're cool because you get the equipped cards back on them. Next, you play the 2 rank 5 cards because we're playing the 2 engine of everything, basically. And 2 Artigoras. I haven't finished the extra deck on this deck either. Extra decks are kind of works in progress for me because they're so expensive. Anyway, Artagoras here. He allows to pop like up to 3 cards basically on the field, or 4, depending on how lucky you are. He's an amazing card. He's amazing. He's like Twin Twister, but 10 times better because he's got a body. And then Sacred Noble Knight just allows you to target and destroy a card. Not that great, but if you're not facing up against Cosmos, it's okay. And last card in the extra deck right now, which will probably get bumped up to 2 or 3, probably just 2, is Excalibur. So sometimes if you top deck into that Rescue Rabbit and you're already in a winning position, you can go for game with this guy because 4,000 attack points to the face is going to hurt your opponent. It says 2,000, but you can double his attack by detaching 2 Xyz materials. Since the Artagoras were going to get wasted anyway on Xyz fodder, like, he's cool. And for some reason, I had this in the extra deck. Just chilling in the extra deck for some reason. It's a cool card. Looks like Aladdin. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. That concludes this deck profile. Rescue Knights is what I'm going to call this deck profile. See you guys later. Peace out. Stay frosty.